Okay, so here we go. This is a replay. It's one of the top replays of the week on WOTreplays.com. The player is Denda, specifically Denda 350. So as you know, obviously there are hundreds of players with the same name. He is the 350th player with the name Denda. He is in the Pearl clan, and for those of you who are in the IT world, you know that Perl is a programming language, which I happen to know and use and love. Okay, so he's playing the Super Conqueror. This is a tier 10 British heavy tank, and the map is Fjords. So the first thing you'll notice is he's not using the full zoom. I believe that there's an 8 times, a 16 times, and a 30 times zoom. This is the 8 times zoom. So I'm going to tell you a little bit of a story. Many years ago, I was playing on Siegfried Line, and I was like, you know, it's really hard to aim accurately with whatever it was, the 8 times zoom at the time. And I asked Wargaming to change it. And they did. You know, they added the 16 and the 25 in the next release. You're welcome. Why is he always using the same zoom? I actually had that as a comment on one of my videos. So you see here that Denda's actually doing pretty good. He's up to 1,600 damage with this piece of junk. I used to have the Super Conqueror, but I got sick of it and I got rid of it. He's up to 2,000 damage. I think he's going to get around 20,000 in this game. Maybe not so much. Maybe a little less. He's actually doing pretty good. He's lucky he's got all those losers over there. Look at that. And he's got people spotting for him. Look at that amazing angling, amazing hull down position. So he finally decided to give up this position. He did lose some targets to shoot at. He is heading to the south on Fjords. Notice that his map is very small, and we're going to take a little break here. We're going to look at what missions he's working on. He's working on HT7. I've got it covered. I don't know if it means that, I don't know if he's working on it the second time or not. And he is working on Alliance 10, which is for the 279E. These are very difficult. I haven't finished the Chimera missions yet. But I've looked at the Object 279E missions, and they definitely look challenging. They're not going to be easy. That was a beautiful shot. You notice that he is using the higher penetration rounds. Much higher penetration. He gets an additional 70. Is it 70? 259 to 326. He gets an additional 70. You see my math is perfect. Gets an additional 70 penetration points, which is actually a term that Wargaming uses. And that's what a lot of people that do a lot of damage in the game, they're using high penetration ammo. So we're going to stop for a second. We're going to go back, and I'm going to tell you how this guy fucked up his game. He really screwed up big time. Okay, we're going to look at his angling. He just took a shot, and unfortunately we can't see where it is. Maybe it's that one up top there, I don't know. But this is a bad angle. He knows that this vehicle is not firing at him. His angle is dead on with the 50 TP, and that vehicle might actually do a lot of damage. He might do 750 damage with one shot, I'm not sure. So you don't want to be like this. You want to be a good boy. So not only is it bad for him, but it's bad for the dickweeds out here who are sniping against him. What you really want to do is, because there's a bunch of losers out here, you want to make sure that this guy and this guy, because this guy you don't have to worry about because you can always spin faster than he's going to do anything. You want to make sure you have an optimal angle against both of these vehicles. This might be a good angle against that guy out there, but against the immediate threat, it's not. So he's got to make a choice. You decide. No, I would say point this part right here towards this vehicle. That is definitely the option I would go for. Okay, let's see what this what this Unicum does. Oh, notice what the Type 5 Heavy did. He actually did turn his gun that way. So there's an Object 704 out here. He did 780 damage. Let's see if we can see where he damaged this vehicle. He must have hit that lower plate. I don't think it shows incoming damage. He doesn't have the incoming damage because he doesn't know how to use his settings. But I'm guessing he got hit on that lower plate. And if he had done what I told him to do, he would have his full hit points, and he'd have victory. Okay, so he did get a second kill. This is not a good angle. I would not be angling like this. And the other thing is, you know, you can do this if the guy's a one-shot, but he's not. He's got 1,000 hit points. If he's got 1,000 hit points, you want to have a defensive angle against this Unicum over here. And look at that little feature, how it pops out when you highlight on this little crap tank. Yeah, take your punishment. And remember, your rear gun depression is not going to be as good. It can F you up sometimes. Ooh. Ooh. So he did block the tortoise, and he damaged the tortoise. Pretty cool. You see how much easier it is? I don't play with premium rounds. He's already up to 6,200 damage. You can go a lot further. I'm going to tell a little story. There is a guy who's rather well known, and I watched one of his replays, and he did a lot of damage, and he was up against a lower tier heavy tank, and he reloaded APCR, and I was like, you could have gotten behind it. It was a slow tank. It's like a KV-1 or something. It's like you could have gotten right behind him because there was a way to get around him behind him. Fired at him in the rear, used a regular round, but he didn't. And you know, these Unicums, they're big fat losers. Not to degrade Denda, because I plan on doing the exact same thing. I'm going to load up the gold rounds. It's a lot easier to get 2 gun marks and 3 gun marks, but you do burn through cash. And if you really just want to play the game, you can't do it that way. If you really want to play the game, you got to hyper focus on keeping cash. He's up to 6,600 damage. He got 1,500 spotting damage. Up to 7,000 Unicum damage. Look at that Unicum aim. Up to 7,400 damage. It looks like he may have been trying to track the tortoise. By doing so, he would get assistance damage if the T-95 Clucker was to also damage the vehicle. So he did get 4 kills. You'll notice that there's people like the Mighty Jingles and Quacky Baby and Des Games where they've made comments about how they have a hard time finding high damage replays where people are using just regular rounds. I might actually have one. I had a 6,500 damage game in my FV215B183, which, as you know, is not a high damage vehicle. I'm going to see if I can get that replay online for you to laugh at. You want a good laugh? The reason why I had such a high damage game is because the enemy was too slow to advance. So they were just allowing me, you know, I had like a 24-second reload. They were just allowing me to reload. You see, with that, I would have had to aim with a regular round. He's just going in with the gold round. Boop, 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 boop. 8,700 damage. That right there, that's a bad angle. You see what he's doing? He does have some protection on his side over here, but you know what? I really don't think that's... I don't think this is for... It's not anti-tank armor on the side. That type of armor is for weaker guns. and his angle is too aggressive. He really should have the gun a little bit more on the inside. And that's the wrong angle. Okay, right there, that's a good angle. And that's why you want to use that auto aim to lock on to the enemy. So your gun is always pointed at the enemy target. And you can angle properly. Okay, what he could have done is just fired the gun. But because he's using APCR, he does have to pay for that. If you're using regular rounds, just fire. There's a chance you can knock that loser out with a blind shot. Yep. He's trying to track that vehicle. Obviously, if he tracks the vehicle might have a problem repositioning. But keep in mind, oh, this is beautiful. That's a nice hull down position. Now, keep in mind, you can actually use HE rounds. He's got 3 HE rounds, and he can fire right there at the track. And there's a good chance he could get 3 damaging shots at that vehicle and track him in place. Right there, just, oh, look at that. Look at that. He probably could have used regular rounds to do that. And the enemy bounced. Look at that. He blocked a 750 shot. Now remember, because it's 750 damage that he blocked, that means that enemy vehicle probably has a long reload, like 5-10 minutes, probably a 15 to 20 second reload. So that means that he doesn't have to side scrape right now. He could actually go out and nail him and then hide again if he wanted to. But he doesn't love himself enough. I'm going to guess he reloaded twice. Doesn't show the reload time. While the other guy reloaded once. He's up to 99, 69 damage. Got 5 kills. But will he beat Denda 300 from the PHP clan? Wow, look at that. So remember that there's a delay when you get spotted. There's 4 enemy tanks in the game, right? We know that the Prosciutto's over here. We know that the Standard B was over here. Chances are, with all these vehicles over here, chances are the unspotted vehicle is in this channel over here, right over there. And he probably just drove right past them. Let's see if he figures it out. Nope, he didn't figure it out. No, he didn't figure it out. Okay, so the Leopard was spotted. You can see his team is aggressively camping. You could have blind fired. Look, he got spotted again. I would have blind fired right through there with a regular round. He's up to 10,400 damage. Now remember, when you want a stat pad, not only do you got to use the gold rounds, but you have to rush through the map because you don't want your allies stealing your damage with regular rounds. And you always want to fire gold rounds at these weakly armored enemy tanks. Actually, one of the things that you'll notice, there's people who have a large number of ammo racks and setting the enemy engine on fire. That's a sign that they're firing gold rounds. Because when you fire gold rounds, you're going to ammo rack a lot of tanks. With the FV215B183, when I turn on the gold rounds, sometimes I ammo rack 2 tanks in one game. Okay, so he's up to 11,124 damage. He's got 6 kills. You know what? He's probably going for the 3 gun marks, which is probably why he's going in with the gold rounds. Because it's pretty much a necessity. If he sits, he doesn't want to get on the base. He wants to go for damage. You know, the people that say no cap, kill all, they're working on gun marks usually. They want to crank out that damage. You see that 11 hit point Leopard really isn't worth anything. And notice that the 50 TP is out of the game, and he's saying to the Super Conqueror, either cap or help. But you see, what the Super Conqueror doing is a little bit selfish. He's not being a team player right now. What he's doing, he doesn't want to cap because he doesn't want the time to run out. doesn't want to win the game. He wants to earn damage. He's trying to pad his damage, obviously, for his gun marks. Now, this is a vehicle you could use an HE round against. You know, you got this this fence in the front. That's what they call it. It's called a fence. I don't think it stops HE, because I fire HE at these things all the time, and it doesn't seem to do anything. But it's supposed to. Just ram it, buddy. Come on, go for the ram. He probably could have taken like 200 hit points just by ramming him. He does have an issue where he is low on ammo. You can see he tapped him for 17 damage. And he took him out of the game. He got 7 kills, 12,924 damage. Is he going to go for the 11 points on that Leopard 1? Now, if he were smart, his goal right now would be to either cap or spot for the Object 257. And he's bragging about that well-earned 13,000 damage. See how it says cap? He needs to cap to complete that mission, but he's apparently unaware of that. He should get on the cap. He's not going to win this mission. He's going to throw the game. He's throwing the game. He's throwing the game. He just threw the game. He didn't try hard enough. He doesn't love the game enough. I don't know how much time's left. We're going to fast forward a little bit. As you can see, the mouse inaccurately predicted that he would not come from the north. Let's see if he's smart enough to stay on the cap. That's a very bad angle. You don't want that angle right now. He could have been reset right there. Oh, they did cap. They capped. They got a victory. So I'm guessing that his ally, who is an unknown player, went for the cap and kill. Okay, that's the game. We're going to hit cancel over here. We're going to look at this pretty picture. That obviously is some form of an Object 257. You see he's got that little star thingy and the 2 gun marks. This guy's actually got 3 gun marks, but he probably has it turned off because he's not a bragger. That's what it looks like when you look through the tank. This is what the gunner's view is. So now you know what it looks like to be a gunner. You've just had your real-world virtual tank experience. Okay, that's the game. Denda 350, congratulations from the Pearl Clan. That may not be his real name. This could be, because it's got the little eyeball with the cross in it. That was a Super Conqueror, which is a Tier 10 British heavy tank. He got 7 kills, 12,924 damage reported in-game, 3,900 blocked by armor, 1,546 assistance damage, all earned fair and square. And remember, make your mini-map bigger. I play like that. If you have any questions or comments, please post below.